Season's greetings from Full Circle Bookstore. My name is Steven. It's time to cap off a most difficult year with a most difficult task: buying the right book to put under that tree in your house. To this end, I've put together a list of acclaimed books from 2020 and organized it by genre, so you can pick the one suited to particular readers. Two things before we get started. First off, this isn't a best of list. I left off some great books because I suspected you already knew the people who wrote them. Apologies to Reed Drummond and Matthew McConaughey. Second, this isn't a full accounting of all that the store has to offer in terms of gifts. We stock shirts, we stock socks, we even stock soaps, and those all make great stocking stuffers, so please stop by the store and check them out. Okay, with the disclaimers out of the way, let's start with general fiction. What starts as a family vacation quickly turns ominous in this novel, which was a finalist for the National Book Award this year. Leave the World Behind is a surreal comedy of manners that examines race and class against the backdrop of a quiet, mysterious apocalypse. America's racial divisions have been especially pronounced in 2020, so it's only fitting that the year's biggest historical fiction should make them its focus. In The Vanishing Half, two identical twins, both of them black, embark on diverging paths. One passes as white and seeks to assimilate into white America. The other embraces her black identity without apology. If you're hungry for a mystery, you might want to check this out. This book gathers an assortment of characters with intersecting histories for a wedding party on a private island. Maybe you can guess what happens next. The lights go out during a storm, and when they come back on, a body turns up. The protagonist of this fantasy isn't literally invisible, but she might as well be. When people look away from Addie LaRue, they forget about her. It's the downside of the Faustian bargain for immortality that she made in her youth. But one day she meets someone who recognizes her name, and a solution to her problem becomes visible. If you're looking for something on the sci-fi end of the spectrum, Axiom's End has a lot to offer people who still enjoy conspiracy theories and pine for the 2000s. Set in the Bush era, the debut novel by Lindsay Ellis depicts the unwinding of a government cover-up of alien contact. This next book puts a Mexican twist on a classic horror formula. The result is a stomach-churning yet addictive supernatural adventure. Mexican Gothic has the thrills to entertain casual readers, and enough subtext for them to chew on if they're looking for it. Liz might be the last girl you'd expect to be prom queen. She's too awkward and too shy, but when her financial aid for college falls through, winning the contest and the scholarship that comes along with it suddenly becomes her top priority. You Should See Me in a Crown is the charming story of a girl stepping outside her comfort zone and a welcome addition to young adults' growing number of same-sex romance stories. If I asked you to name any of Superman's enemies, you might give me Lex Luthor or Brainiac. But would you think to mention the Klan? Based on the classic radio show, Superman smashes the Klan, leverages his status as an alien immigrant to make a point about nativism and bigotry. If you prefer your colors muted and your comics more grounded in reality, you might consider Kent State, which depicts the infamous shooting that occurred in 1970. If you've ever properly enjoyed a song by Lana Del Rey, you know her lyricism is a crucial component, so it shouldn't surprise anyone that she has poetic ambitions. Her debut collection, Violet Bent Backwards Over the Grass, is beautifully put together and a no-brainer for fans. On the outside, the Galvins appeared the ideal family for an idealized period of American history, the baby boom. But beneath that surface, something dark was working its way through the children. In Hidden Valley Road, we can only watch as, one by one, 6 of the family's 10 boys are diagnosed with schizophrenia. This is a chilling family biography that depicts the challenges they faced alongside the developments in our understanding of mental illness. You may be familiar with the caste system of India, in which people are born into social positions they are unlikely to escape. But have you ever thought of America as having such a system? If so, you may be intrigued by this history of race that has only become more important since its publication this summer. Now for some science. It's easy to think of the end of the universe as an abstract thing or a sci-fi trope, but it's a real thing that will happen someday. In The End of Everything, Dr. Katie Mack outlines 5 scenarios in which it all comes to an end, from the big crunch to heat death, and she does so without losing her sense of humor. Maybe you prefer biology to physics. If so, you might be a better match for Entangled Life, a wonderfully nerdy book about fungi of all types, from the psychedelic variety to those that hijack the minds of insects. You'll never look at a veggie salad the same way again. The biggest true crime book of the year focuses on the grisly murder of an archaeology grad student at Harvard. We Keep the Dead Close is full of red herrings and twists that will keep fans of the genre on their toes, and it offers cutting commentary on sexism in the halls of academia. The holidays may bring families together, but in doing so, they set the stage for bitter political arguments. So why should you consider gifting anyone a book about politics? Well, because Why We're Polarized is precisely about why the struggle between Republicans and Democrats has become so loud and intractable. This is political analysis at its most crucial and digestible. And that about does it. If you watched that whole thing without skipping around, kudos. I hope you find my recommendations useful, but if you're still not sure what to get, please drop by the store and talk to a bookseller face to face. Our team is well read and they're willing to help. From all of us at Full Circle Bookstore, happy holidays. And for those who subscribe to the channel and like this video, Happy New Year.